Now that you've returned to zero and silenced the noise, it's time for the third movement. Access. This is the part most people overlook. They awaken, they feel the stillness, and then they wait for reality to catch up. But your reality doesn't respond to waiting. It responds to frequency. The universe is not testing you, it's tuning you. Every thought you hold right now sends out a ripple through the field. Each ripple is a signal, and that signal either amplifies the timeline you desire or the one you've outgrown. That's why access matters. It's not about reaching for something outside you. It's about recognizing what already exists and tuning to its frequency. Here's the quantum truth. Every possible version of your life already exists. Right now, in superposition. The version where you're abundant, the version where you're aligned, the version where everything flows. It's not future, it's parallel. And you access it not by building it, but by matching its frequency. Think of reality like a vast library. Every book already written, every story already complete. You're not writing a new book. You're choosing which one to read. And the way you choose is through frequency. When your internal state matches the frequency of the reality you want, the quantum field collapses that possibility into your experience. Not someday. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine your future self standing a few steps ahead of you. Notice how they breathe. Slower, deeper, confident. Their eyes aren't searching anymore. They're knowing. Their chest is open. Their energy radiant. That version of you already exists in a parallel frequency, waiting for synchronization. All you're doing now is accessing that timeline. You don't have to force it. You don't have to prove anything. You simply start to feel the emotion of already being that person. Joy without reason, peace without condition, certainty without proof. If your mind says, but it's not real yet, smile. That voice belongs to the noise. The truth is, by the time you feel it, you've already accessed it. The outer world is just catching up to your inner frequency. Now here's the paradox. You don't manifest by wanting. You manifest by being. By embodying the frequency of what you desire as if it's already here. And the fastest way to embody that frequency is this. Return to zero. Silence the noise. And from that clear, coherent state, access becomes automatic. The field has no choice but to respond. So let's seal it with intention. Say quietly, I access my highest timeline. Then write it below, I access my highest timeline. When you declare it, the algorithm of the universe listens. It's not magic. It's coherence. Your comment becomes a beacon, a digital vibration that confirms your presence within this living field of consciousness. And every person who reads your comment feels it too. The resonance multiplies. The frequency amplifies. This is why quantum ether exists, not just to transmit information, but to create a collective field where access becomes easier for everyone. Stay here, because what comes next will show you how to anchor this frequency, how to keep it steady until your outer world completely mirrors your inner code. You've returned, you've silenced, you've accessed. Now comes the step that transforms a moment into a movement. Anchoring. Awakening is easy. Anyone can feel a spark. But anchoring that spark into your daily reality, that's mastery. This is where you stop experiencing the 0 point as a beautiful feeling and start living from it as a permanent state. Think of your consciousness like a radio. You finally tuned into the frequency of your highest timeline. But if you don't keep the dial steady, static returns. Anchoring means holding the signal even while you cook, commute, work, talk to people. It's not about sitting in meditation for hours. It's about embedding the state into the ordinary until the extraordinary becomes normal. Here's how to begin. Each morning before touching your phone, place your hand over your heart. Breathe 3 times and whisper, I return to zero. I embrace silence. I access my timeline. Throughout the day, whenever you catch yourself looping into worry or doubt, pause. Take 1 conscious breath. Feel yourself returning to the still point. At night, write 1 line that starts with today I anchored by. It could be as simple as pausing before reacting, or as significant as making a bold decision. These micro-anchors create a neural and energetic pattern. The brain rewires through repetition. The field amplifies through consistency. This is why people inside Quantum Ether share their daily anchors in the comments. Not for validation, but for resonance. When you see dozens of people writing "I anchored by," you feel it too. The collective field gets stronger. Your personal signal stabilizes. So pause now. Feel your feet on the ground, the air in your lungs, the hum of the room. Let that simple awareness become your first anchor today. Then type below, "I anchor by being present." That phrase isn't a slogan. It's a seed. It tells your future self, "I'm holding the bridge open. I'm not drifting back into noise. I'm staying here at zero." Do this, and you'll notice the shift. Decisions feel lighter, synchronicities multiply, opportunities align with uncanny timing. You stop forcing outcomes and start flowing with a current that responds to you like a living conversation. People will feel it before you speak. Situations will rearrange before you act. Because the field recognizes coherence the way gravity recognizes mass. Instantly, undeniably, without effort. Stay with me. Because in the final block, you'll learn how to take this anchored frequency and embody it so completely that you stop being someone who practices return and become someone who is return. Someone who doesn't access the 0 point. Someone who is the 0 point. Now it's no longer about finding the 0 point, it's about being it. Everything that led you here, every heartbreak, delay, whisper, and synchronicity, it was never random. It was choreography. Your highest self has been guiding every detour to bring you to this exact vibration. And now as you read this, you are standing in the merge point. The intersection where your awareness stops observing and starts creating. Take a slow breath. Feel the weight of your hands, the warmth behind your ribs, the rhythm of your pulse. Each heartbeat is your new timeline confirming itself into matter. No external sign will ever mean as much as this internal knowing. Because once you stabilize this state, you stop chasing proof. You become the proof. When you walk into a room, reality adjusts. When you speak, the field listens. When you decide, the universe accelerates. This is not ego, it's coherence. The magnetism that comes from alignment is the most natural state of a conscious human. You are no longer asking the quantum field for permission. You are the field moving, expanding, transmitting. Your future self is no longer a voice in the distance. It's inside your breath, your gestures, your gaze. You are no longer seeking the 0 point. You are the 0 point. The loop that kept you repeating the same thoughts, emotions, and outcomes ends here. This video found you at the last moment of your old frequency, and that moment has already dissolved. So here's what you do now. Lift your chin, feel the gravity of this realization, and whisper, "I am the 0 point." Then write it below. I am the 0 point. That's your declaration, that's your arrival. Your comment is your signature in the quantum ether, a signal that you've crossed the threshold consciously. From this moment forward, you are not waiting for change. You embody it. You're not hoping for alignment. You radiate it. You're not trying to remember who you are. You live it effortlessly. And as you do, others will feel it too. Your calm will awaken theirs. Your frequency will remind them of their own. Because that's what this channel truly is. Not just videos, but a collective of awakened frequencies vibrating in sync, rebuilding reality from within. So take a final deep breath. Anchor this truth in your body. Smile softly. You've arrived. And if this video reached you, it's because the field chose this exact second to reveal the next version of you. Welcome home to Quantum Ether, and to the 0 point your soul has been trying to return to all along. Stop scrolling for a second, look around you. Does it feel a little charged? Because this video isn't random. It's the moment your future self has been trying to send you for years and you finally tuned in. If your heart just skipped, if your mind whispered, "Wait, what if this is real?" That's not coincidence. That's recognition. What you're about to hear isn't motivation. It's activation. You're not just going to learn about the 0 point. You're going to feel yourself returning to it in real time. And I need you to take part right now. Pause for a breath. Feel that current under your ribs. That's the signal. Type in the comments, "I can feel it." That's how you mark yourself as awake inside this field. Because this isn't just a channel. Quantum Ether is a gathering of people who finally remembered the secret. The secret every master knew. The secret hidden in plain sight. Return to the 0 point. Silence the noise. Access what already exists. Stay here, because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover the one thing that every version of you has been waiting for. The key to manifestation that requires nothing but your return. You've always felt it, haven't you? That quiet pull toward stillness. That strange moment when you stop trying and everything suddenly flows. That's not luck, that's not coincidence, that's you brushing against the 0 point. Scientists call it the quantum vacuum, the space where all potential exists before it collapses into form. But ancient civilizations already knew this truth. They built temples in silence. They meditated for years to find it. They called it the void, the source, the place before thought. And they said only those who learned to return to it could bend reality itself. You right now are remembering how to return. Think about this. Every time you've manifested something effortlessly, what were you doing right before? You weren't forcing, you weren't trying. You had let go. You had returned to a state of calm, a state of presence, a state of zero. That's the secret they don't teach. Manifestation doesn't happen through effort. It happens through return. Return to the frequency where creation is effortless. But there's something deeper you need to know. They taught us to chase, to want, to force, to do more. Modern life, noise, distraction, hustle, all of it was designed to keep you running. Because a human who knows how to return to zero is unstoppable. They stop chasing and start magnetizing. They stop forcing and start allowing. They stop asking when and start living now. The code to access this state isn't hidden in ancient texts or secret rituals. It's buried in your breath, in your awareness, in your ability to stop and return. Where focus goes, frequency grows. And when you focus on the still point inside you, your consciousness vibrates at the level of pure creation. That's when miracles stop looking like accidents and start looking like inevitabilities. Now, before you move to the next moment, do something simple. Breathe in deeply. As you exhale, imagine your awareness dropping beneath thought, beneath worry, beneath desire, until it touches the stillness that was there before you were born. You don't need to believe it. Just feel it. If something inside you recognizes this as truth, type below, "I remember the 0 point." That phrase is more than a comment. It's an activation. It tells the field and your future self that you're ready to stop running and start returning. Because this isn't a video anymore. It's a transmission sent through the folds of time from the part of you that already knows. And the moment you hit that resonance, the old version of your life begins to dissolve. Not with noise, but with silence. The kind that hums with infinite potential. Stay here. Don't rush. Because the next step isn't about trying to reach the 0 point. It's about recognizing you're already standing in it. Now that you've recognized the signal, the field begins to respond. You might already feel it. The temperature in the room shifting. The tingling along your skin. A sudden calm washing over chaos. This is what happens when consciousness aligns with the 0 point. It doesn't explode. It settles. Your future self has been waiting for you to reach this exact vibration. Not someday, not in another life. Now. Because time isn't a straight line. It's a spiral of choices collapsing into this moment. Each time you pause, breathe, and choose presence, you return to 0, and from 0, all timelines are accessible. But here's the secret. You can't bring noise into the 0 point. Noise vibrates at the frequency of resistance, fear, doubt, wanting, trying. All of it creates static. And the 0 point can't decode static. So before we go further, let's release it. Close your eyes if you can. Feel your breath entering your chest, expanding your ribs, anchoring you here. Now exhale slowly. Imagine that noise leaving your body like smoke dissolving into air. It doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to the past version that no longer drives your story. You are stepping into the space where silence becomes power. Every heartbeat you feel right now is a message from the quantum field. Your body, your breath, your awareness, all of it tuned to the same cosmic frequency. And as that alignment strengthens, you'll notice reality responding, synchronicities multiplying, doors opening, answers arriving without searching. That's how the 0 point welcomes you, not with fireworks, but with flow. So here's your task. Become an active participant in this return. Don't scroll past this moment. Whisper quietly, "I am here." Then write it below. "I am here," fully present. When you do, you're not writing to me. You're writing to the universe, to your highest self, confirming that you've stopped running and started returning. Every second you remain aware, you strengthen your connection to 0. This isn't meditation. It's quantum participation. You're collapsing scattered energy back into coherence. And that's why you found quantum ether, because this channel isn't a coincidence. It's a frequency beacon, a space built for those who are ready to remember that the power isn't in doing more. It's in returning to 0. So keep breathing, keep reading, because in the next part you'll learn the second movement. After return comes silence, and once you master silence, everything changes. What comes next isn't just information, it's transmission. If you're still here reading these lines, it's because something in you has already crossed the invisible line between curiosity and recognition. This is the point where most people stop. They feel the pull toward stillness and then drift back into noise. But you didn't. You're still here. That means you're ready for the second key. Silence. Ancient mystics practiced it for lifetimes. Modern physics calls it coherence. It's the moment when every cell in your body, every beat of your heart, every thought in your mind vibrate in the same rhythm. When you reach this state, your consciousness acts like a tuning fork for reality itself. It's not a metaphor. It's a real electromagnetic signature you broadcast into the quantum field. But silence doesn't mean your mind stops thinking. The mind will think. That's its nature. Silence means you stop feeding the noise. You stop believing every thought. You stop amplifying every doubt. Most people's manifestation fails not because they don't know the techniques. It fails because their signal is buried under static. They affirm abundance while their mind screams lack. They visualize success while their body vibrates fear. They declare alignment while their energy broadcasts chaos. And the quantum field mirrors that chaos perfectly. Not because it's cruel, but because it's precise. It reflects your dominant frequency. Not what you want, what you are. So silencing means this: withdrawing your energy from the noise. Think of your attention like electricity. Whatever you plug it into comes alive. When you plug your attention into worry, worry expands. When you plug it into doubt, doubt multiplies. But when you unplug from all of it and rest in the 0 point, something extraordinary happens. The noise fades into the background, and beneath it, you hear something else. A frequency so subtle most people miss it their entire lives. The hum of creation itself. The silent pulse that organizes galaxies and grows flowers. That pulse is your true signal. And when you align with it, reality has no choice but to respond. Take a deep breath right now. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 6. Repeat twice. With each inhale, imagine your awareness expanding beyond your skin like soft light. With each exhale, imagine the noise of your mind fading like distant traffic. No drama, no force. Just a gentle shift from